Hey, what up, what up? We are back with Silver Screen Breakdowns. I'm Alex.
I'm Nelson Tynes.
And I'm Ebenezer Peacock.
Yeah.
Ebenezer Peacock, appropriately named tonight.
There we go. Shout out to all the crew members in the chat. What up? Shout out to Chase, who's up in here first. What up, what up? Today we're covering in its 35th year anniversary, Scrooged.
Scrooged, and I saw him in the theaters. Now I know my age. I thought when I was 2, like Peacock. Same
age. Man, this was taking it all the way back. And this one, a different version of A Christmas Carol, the Charles Dickens story. And this one is way different than any of the other ones. Character names are different. It's like they're filming A Christmas Carol, and everything's kind of based around the filming of that.
Yeah, it's real meta.
For sure.
It's a super meta thing. It's a movie within a production, we're dealing with all these characters. They're putting on a television production of A Christmas Carol while actually living, or at least our main character, Bill Murray, is living, the actual Christmas Carol, classic tale again, Charles Dickens' classic tale.
Hell yeah. And so, Peacock, you were the one who recommended this. Why was it one that you wanted to do?
Yeah, we were kind of throwing names out. I remember that day in the chat, and I was at work, just kind of, I threw a few out there, and they were kind of like, some of the more recent movies. And I was trying to think of an older Christmas movie that wasn't like super old and boring, but something around, on the same lines of A Christmas Story or something like that, but maybe not so much just for a family type movie either. And it just hit me, and I was like, man. My pops used to have this thing on VHS, and I used to throw it in probably all the way up until we stopped using VHS. Like I was in my teens, maybe. But Scrooged was like I'd watch it at least once a year, I think, around the holidays, and just get a kick out of it from a young age all the way up until it was kind of appropriate for me to actually watch it. But back in the early '90s, there were no rules when it came to letting your kids watch TV. So I kind of grew up on Scrooged and this kind of raunchy vibe version of this movie, of the Christmas Carol. So really fun movie, and I thought it'd be pretty cool. And I didn't know if other folks had seen it or experienced it, so I thought it'd be an interesting one to do.
And have you was there any other renditions of this movie that of A Christmas Carol that you watched, or was this kind of the only one?
Growing up, I had seen, I think, the classic cartoon version with Mickey Mouse. Yeah, sure. And that one's definitely, yeah. So I was very familiar with that growing up, but then from going from that, and maybe just a few years later, when I was probably about 6 or 7, when I was really understanding this movie. I'm sure it was on in the background when my dad first purchased it or whatever. Because I don't know how expensive movies were back then on VHS, but I'm pretty sure they were pricey. So, you'd watch the thing for years and treasure it and put it in your collection. So it was definitely one of those that was in the drawer. I'd pull it out. It had a crazy cover with him and the skeleton hand holding, I think, like a martini or something, or a cigar. And it's just kind of iconic, kind of burned into your head. And when I rewatched this, it's crazy, but things kind of came to the forefront. And it's like, oh, shoot, I say that or I do this. And it's because of this movie. So when we get to those parts, maybe I'll enlighten you guys on what some of those things are. But it's just funny. I saw this movie a lot growing up. It was kind of like an unspoken type of thing, because I don't think I was supposed to be watching these types of movies. But it's definitely one that's near and dear to me. So that's why and I had forgotten about it. I hadn't seen it in over a decade. So
yeah. Well, how bad can a Christmas movie be, though? Right? How not bad, but restrictive is for the kids,
Yeah. This one I think is now rated PG-13. I don't know if the ratings have changed over time, but I know things were a little more lenient back then. Things that are kept a PG rating, like Goonies and stuff like that, they still have sexual innuendos and some foul language and stuff. I was watching the Goonies with my kids the other day, and I was like, they talk about the dick on the statue or something. Yeah. And and then they say son of a bitch and bitch a lot, which isn't too bad, but I just forgot how often they say it and stuff. So it's like, geez.
Son of a Bitch wasn't even a PG-13 worthy like saying until we got like maybe in the 2000s or close to the 2000s, because all the Back to the Futures, those are all PG. And remember how many times Marty just, you son of a bitch, says
for sure,
times in each movie, more than once.
And, so this movie may not have carried a PG-13 rating back then. It might have just been straight, I don't know, maybe straight to R, maybe just PG. I mean, who knows? To be honest,
a lot of guns.
Well, I thought they'd be more strict back then they are now. Now they let a lot of things go, right?
Not really.
No way. I mean, definitely have gotten more strict over time.
As far as ratings go, yeah.
I think they get more strict over the PG stuff, but they're less strict over like the cursing and the nudity.
I think there's a threshold, like you have to say like you're only allowed like one fuck, and then you can still be PG-13 or some shit like that now. I think so.
Yeah, and it had to be in a certain context. It couldn't be like "fuck you."
Right? Yeah.
Type of context. And hey, before I asked Nelson, when I was gonna ask him, let's bring out Bogey. We got Bogey in the house.
Yeah.
Hey.
I was gonna get on here like right when I got home about 30 minutes ago, but then all the kids wanted hot cocoa at the same time. I gotta boil the water because we're out of like hot water. It's like old school shit.
We've only been live for 12 minutes, so you're good.
Look at
that.
We stalled for you.
Kick in pretty soon here. I should have waited a little bit.
So we'll get that. So I'll ask Bogey this after Nelson. But Nelson, so what was your first take on this movie? You said you saw it in the theaters, and is there any other renditions of the Christmas Carol that you remember watching over the years?
No, I think I bumped into like an old black and white one that was kind of boring, I think. So that's about it. I don't have really much experience with the Christmas Carol.
Okay.
It's it's funny about Peacock mentioned an old boring Christmas movie, but one of the most exciting movies is actually happens to be old, but I think most of them are boring. Was It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was a really good movie, actually.
It is on like first watch and to like enjoy and like to appreciate it, but then like are you gonna rewatch that one? Probably not.
It's a Wonderful Life.
I won't rewatch it. That's not a rewatchable. I say it's a good movie, but it has those parts where like I'll fall asleep.
I'll probably watch it.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty long.
Nelly said it was
good. Thing, right? But I can watch that one because then I watched what we mentioned, A Christmas Story. That one.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
That one's all right. I've seen it. My kids loved it. Just recently. They saw it maybe for the first time last year. My 9 and
shoot somebody's eye out.
Yeah, they quote it all the time now. You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah,
good one. Classic.
I don't know. No, I just know this one. I saw it in the theater originally, and then just saw it now.
I have a Christmas Story T-shirt. I should have worn it tonight.
I remember the little fairy girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she definitely stayed in my mind. The dancers, the love interest Claire, who happens to be, I believe, the mom from The Sandlot, if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't she also in like Indiana Jones?
Was she in Indiana Jones? I think she was. Right?
I've seen her in a lot of movies, but I couldn't place which ones. But she looked very familiar.
Yeah, I think she was a blonde, right, in Indiana Jones.
I don't recall.
Is she around now or no?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I wonder if time was kind to her.
Well, that's what I was wondering last night.
Sorry?
That's what I was wondering last night, because I only know what Bill Murray looks like now, and it's like not dead, right? Kind of reminds me of a zombie. But
and you're talking about the fairy?
No, we're talking about the Claire, the one that calls him Lumpy.
Okay, yeah.
The old flame from 15 years ago.
Isn't she she's like an activist or something like that?
Right, yeah. She volunteers at the shelter or something.
Yeah, those actresses, they don't seem to stay around as long as the men do. You notice that? Tom Cruise was around before this, and he's still around.
I have a theory on this.
Hollywood kind of throws you out unless you're a Meryl Streep or one of those.
I mean, my theory on that is because when men get older, for example, if you're a
distinguished,
if you're a child actor, it's almost harder for you to cross over, to continue, especially if you're, if you grew
unless you're Zac Efron,
or you're Leo DiCaprio or something. But then there's like George Clooney, who like kind of came out later in life. You know, not
He came out old. He came out. Yeah, I know what you mean. That sounded wrong. Pause.
Yeah, the sexy gray fucking, and you know, the salt and pepper, whatever you want to call it. It's a
Silver
sexy
Fox.
man. Pause.
The Silver Fox.
He was still single till like up until like
Yeah, and like because you become just like Peacock said, when you get older, you could fit distinguished roles. Or like look at Billy Bob Thornton. You could always cast an old grumpy drunk dude, and you'd be like, "Oh, give me Billy Bob on the phone." You know what I mean?
There's a lot of those.
He's done well. He's known as a child actor, and he's still like looked as an adult. So
yeah,
I
what's
guess
eating Gilbert Grape?
thinking of Macaulay. I guess I'm just thinking of Macaulay was like. You just didn't really pay. You didn't really translate after the whole.
Shia LaBeouf was doing okay, and then he went crazy.
Yeah, but Shia LaBeouf went crazy in an epic fashion. Like he didn't even remember half of it. He just remembers like it was St. Patty's Day. He got faded, and the adventure just continued. People just seemed to want to give him drugs and buy him shots. And like next thing you know, he's watching a play with some dude he just saw. Like, hey, you want to go to a play? Yeah, my friend's in it. Let's go. Then he's at this play on ecstasy, and next thing you know, he's fighting the police. Like in a rumble, like a middle of a rumble, fighting police.
They got to make a movie about that.
I know, right?
Awesome. Yeah. And Bill Murray's not a looker though. I don't understand how he's been able to say. Well, I guess he's funny. If you're not a looker, then you got to be funny.
I mean,
For sure.
women think funny is attractive. I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're
Well,
funny.
he's dating Khalees. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. He's dating that chick
Bill Murray.
right now.
Nas,
Right now, look it up.
Nas's ex-wife.
I guess.
Nas's baby mom.
who's ex-wife?
Not Nas, the rapper.
For real, I didn't know that
I
about
don't
her.
know that either.
And like,
Well,
you know,
Bill Murray's dating her.
she tried to meet
How did
him.
Bill Murray?
You remember when the Me Too shit first came out? She came out like on the Wendy show or whatever, the Wendy Williams show. She tried like, yeah,
Hi, Wendy.
when I was with Nazir, you know, he would,
You're-
yeah, she calls him by his full name. And when I was with Nazir, he would get so drunk off Hennessy and beat me and like, you know what I mean? But it was like, there was never no charges or anything, so it's purely just allegations out of nowhere.
I was gonna say I was just banging some Nas like yesterday or today.
Yeah, but it never affected Nas though. They was just like, they didn't hear her milkshake weren't that good, I guess. Apparently.
Oh man. Well, she's with Bill Murray. Who probably can't physically beat her.
All right, let's jump in before we do Bogey. Any other Christmas Carol renditions besides this one?
I never sat through the Christmas Carol joints, and all my understanding. Hold on, what's that? Oh shit! I was like, who the fuck was that? Hold on.
So, all right. Well, the ones that I remember watching. So the Muppets Christmas Carol. I mean, that was.
Oh yeah.
One.
I
The
forgot
one
about that
that
one.
Peacock said, the Mickey Mouse one.
Yeah.
The one
Classic.
with Jim Carrey. That one's a newer one. Came out
Never,
around,
never saw it.
around the
Never saw it.
Grinch time when he did that. So around like 2000s.
Yeah, and like I mean, yeah, all my shit came from like The Simpsons and like every 90s joint at one point or another might have done some type of rendition of the Christmas Carol, but I saw this one as a kid because they always showed Scrooged on movies. I mean, on the movie channels or like just during Christmas time in general. And like, so this was always like the OG one to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this one's super OG to me too.
Yeah.
Like the live action OG for me. This one is, which is crazy.
And
why-
like one thing I do like, I will say is like I just love how he's super over the top, and a lot of it wasn't necessarily acting; it was like frustration while shooting it, and like
He's a dick.
yeah, like it was a whole nother shit. It was a shit show shooting the movie, and like apparently the director, I guess he was like he had like hearing, he was hard of hearing or something because he would always tell Bill Murray louder. So it's like when you watch some of those scenes and he's yelling, it's like
It's fucking shouting.
yeah, for real.
It
was awesome.
That makes sense.
Over the topness though.
Yeah, awesome though, because it actually made for the performance, right?
So kick it off, Peacock. Where you kick off that joint.
Sure.
So the only thing that I'm gonna say before you kind of give our little intro here, why did it look like it was like a Tim Burton production? As they
It did.
I got that vibe. It sounded like Danny Elfman, right? Like or whatever the music is, and then like the camera swing back and forth. It's snowy everywhere. You got peace on earth, Christmas trees. You're in the North Pole. That's literally covered in snow. You're like going into Santa's workshops slowly. You see all the the elves doing their deal, toiling and all this stuff. And I was rewatching this with my wife last night, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Like, what kind of movie is this? You know, Scrooge."
Yeah,
and they're all tinkering. Tinkering.
What kind of elves are those?
Yeah, they look real hyper realistic, and they're like, all of a sudden they peer out the.
Elves, what do you mean? They're all the same elves, man.
All of a sudden they peer out the window and like something like crash lands. They're like, "Oh, take cover! They're getting attacked." It's like Code 3 or I don't know what. Like Santa's under siege, and you see like these dudes all dressed in black with like, you know, machine guns like firing from this. Yeah. So Mrs. Claus is like, all right, you know, get to the armory. Basically, they all get strapped
up.
A dude pulls. Dude pulls up on a snowmobile carrying his deal. He takes off its hood, and it's Lee Majors, the $6 million man, and he's there to save Santa.
The $6 million man.
They had to introduce him like that, you know. It's fucking awesome. They should have freeze framed it and then put like Lee Majors, you know. But anyway, or did they do that? They may have. And he's there chatting it up with Santa. Things are getting wild. So, you know, all of a sudden you're like, what are we watching? You as a viewer. My wife was watching us, gauging her reaction. It's like, does she think the movie's like, you know, this part or whatever? Yeah. And all of a sudden, you know, the action's going off, and then you hear the voiceover guy, and he's like, the night the reindeer died on IBC, you know, whatever Christmas programming, followed by. And so you cut back, and it's a TV commercial, and it's a promo, and you're like, oh, this isn't the damn movie. And it cuts to who is this? Bob Goulet's Old Fashioned Cajun Christmas. And he's like in the bayou singing Christmas songs. There's like an alligator. And so you're getting a cut of all the lineup here for what they're doing, basically. And so the next one is it's like a parody of Leave It to Beaver, whatever. And it's Father Loves Beaver. And he's like, oh, he's out getting beaver. Where's Dad or whatever. So the IBC promo cuts or whatever, and then they fade back, and they're in a boardroom. And they all turn around, and they're staring at Bill Murray. And that's your intro. So my wife turned around, and she was like, what the fuck was all that? It was hilarious. And I was like, yeah, it's the beginning of the movie. Here's where the movie actually starts, you know. And so we get Bill Murray in the boardroom, and he's about to like give him his reaction to what's going on. But then or at least that's what it looks like. And then he's like, you know what? Roll the Christmas Carol promo. And right. So it's Charles Dickens or whatever. And so this is the all his board or his meeting group, or all his under bosses or whatever, presenting basically their work, the lineup of what they're going to be showing to everyone, right? To gear up for the live Christmas Eve rendition of Scrooge that they're going to put on this production. And so it's real classic, and it's showing like the Solid Gold Dancers and Mary Lou Retton as Tiny Tim, which I just thought was fucking hilarious. She does like a double somersault and sticks the landing, and so like join us live on IBC, and it's a real jolly good feel. And Bill Murray's not liking it. He's like, nah, this is not how we do this here. And he's like, this is how I would. He's like, show them how I would do it. Basically, this is what I would do. And all of a sudden you get that old school, like fucking Demolition Man or like Terminator guy voiceover. The lights dim, it gets red. You get like a weird feedback going on in the background. The vibe gets insane. Bill Murray's faces during this whole movie, but especially like right off the bat here, they're just, his facial expressions are just, I mean, they're off the wall, back and forth. He's yelling. But man, the promo that he cuts, it's pretty intense. It's pretty gruesome, and it gets to the point where they're like, the faces on everybody in the room is like they don't have the balls to tell him not to run this ad. You know what I mean? Because he's the prez, he's the guy who calls all the shots, and it's completely off the wall. It's gonna kill old ladies, is what they say, and it eventually does.
I don't want to spoil it.
Here we go. I do have a scene here. So here we go. Let's pull it up.
IBC presents live via satellite from New York, Bethlehem, Helsinki, West Berlin, and the Great Barrier Reef. Charles Dickens' immortal Christmas classic, Scrooged, starring Buddy Hackett, Jamie Farr, the Solid Gold Dancers, and Mary Lou Retton as Tiny Tim. Hosted by Sir John Houseman. Scrooge. It will touch your every heartstring. That's right. It all starts on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve on IBC. You'll love it.
You'll love it.
Oh my gosh. Does that suck?
You know who loves Mary Lou Retton Frank? My kids. Children love an acrobat.
Oh,
Wonder what he's
we
drinking.
have spent $40 million on a live TV show. You guys have got an ad with America's favorite old fart reading a book in front of a fireplace. Now, I have to kill all of you.
I hella identify with him. I just remembered that there is a correlation to Tim Burton. So the guy who scored the movie, he actually went on. He built his signature sound here, and then actually paired up with Tim Burton on all his movies after this. So maybe that's why we kind of get the feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not Danny Elfman though, right? Because I know Elfman does a lot of Burton movies.
Yeah,
but
I guess it's one of the original guys to work with.
Wait, Elfman did this one. The score.
Oh yeah. Okay, it is.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He did go on. Yeah, it is the same guy who went on to work with Burton.
Well, then that's exactly why it sounds like.
People that don't know.
Yes. Oingo Boingo, very popular band.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna get the guy from Oingo Boingo to do the theme of what is it? The theme for Batman? Remember? They're all tripped out.
Nice.
He's done a lot of Hollywood films. That guy, Danny Elfman.
Oh yeah.
He scores a lot of stuff.
Oh my God, he has Elf in his name.
Yeah. Does a lot of Christmas stuff. Elfman. Yeah. I never drew that correlation.
You know me and names.
What up, Crispy?
What up, Crispy?
Yeah, so we get
It's Crisp in his name.
we get a real deep look into Bill Murray's character, and yeah, right after they show the clip that Peacock was talking about, not the one that we just saw right now. That was the first clip that they show. But yeah, literally where everyone's dying, everything's blowing up. And
yeah, that clip has nothing to do with a Christmas Carol at all. It's like murder, mayhem, rape, blood, guns.
And they even ask him, what does this have to do with Christmas? Nothing.
But don't be scared to miss it.
Oh my God, he was trying to make Die Hard.
He really was.
Yeah, he was.
These both came out the same movie, same year. So you know, like, who knows?
Which one came first?
They got the idea for Die Hard from watching his promo. Ah, shit. There goes my theory.
And they say it's not a Christmas movie.
And
yeah.
Of course it's not. Does it have anything to do with Christmas? No.
came out in July.
So this one
Christmas in July. Christmas in July.
Oh, this one might came in November. Oh yeah, we just passed 25 years, right? 35 years?
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, November 23rd, 1988.
Yeah, so I was almost 3.
And the only person who does speak up, what's his name in the movie?
Bobcat. It's not Bobcat. I can't do it.
Bobcat something. I forget his last name.
Yeah, well, that's his name in real life for sure.
Bobcat something.
You can never.
He's a Loudermilk.
You can never you just can never forget that voice, man. It's just the same.
It's Revenge of the Nerds, man.
Yeah, he's super young here.
He combined that one Gilbert Godfrey with Revenge of the Nerds or something.
I mean, he is the guy that is the guy, right? From Revenge of the Nerds.
And all in one.
It is the same guy from Revenge of the Nerds, though, right?
That's a different dude.
No way. He was definitely in Revenge of the Nerds, right?
No, he was from. I thought he was from Police Academy.
Yeah, he's from Police Academy.
Academy as well, but
Yeah.
he might have been in Revenge of the Nerds. Right?
Maybe you're thinking of Booger, who's played by a different character.
Oh, yeah, I am thinking of Booger. I am thinking of Booger.
Risky Business.
He's definitely the voice of the rabbit in what's that show?
Unhappily Ever After.
Unhappily Ever After. That was a good show.
Yeah, Mr. Fly.
That was a pretty good.
Yeah, it was like a edgier Married with Children.
The chick was pretty hot. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I watched.
Cox.
Yeah.
Was that her?
Yeah.
Cox in her name.
Yeah, and that's and who was it? What's the other guy?
Not to be mistaken with Courtney Cox.
And Kevin Connolly, he was the guy in it. He's one of the stars in
Kevin Connolly was in that shit.
Yeah, Kevin Connolly's one of the stars in Entourage and was the asshole in Rocky 5. And they're Rocky 4, Rocky 5. And it's funny, he because of his podcast, we heard more about it, and he always talks trash about Unhappily Ever After. Just that the show was trash, but he was dating Nikki Cox at the time. So.
For real? They were playing siblings, right?
Yeah, they're playing brother and sister.
Damn, they were ahead of their time. Pornhub,
for sure.
Yeah, they loved it. That's the stepbrother, stepsister.
Yeah, it's all about. Whenever you look at them sites, it's all about a stepmom, stepsister.
Because it's
like an algorithm. Like for the people who are on those sites all the time, bunch of Alabama people.
It's not real. Those people got to know that.
It's not
real. Wait, porn's not real?
I know, right? I mean, like every time the cable,
I thought it was really brother.
I'm telling you, every time the cable man came through, I was like, I ain't fucking him.
You mean that guy that we saw that was doing the delivery? He really doesn't work for UPS.
I just got lucky. You know what I mean?
You always have to watch those because you know it's going to play out. But I just wonder how is it going to be scripted this time? Just how cheesy, how corny. How easy is it to be?
What's her name? Who's the one that Jimmy was fucking?
You get 6 monster men in the park. She's walking by herself. I don't know, guys. I don't know you guys very well. Come on. Okay. It is kind of breezy out here.
I watch it for the storyline.
You gotta have a good storyline.
But you know what? It's funny. Back in the day, they did have good storylines in the 70s and 80s.
Oh yeah,
sure they did.
You can go watch Boogie Nights, man. I mean, if anyone wants to, storylines are all about.
Yeah.
That's why they got so popular. We're not making pornographic films. We are just making films.
Diggler.
Back to fucking Bill Murray. And oh man, it's crazy. Yeah, the Bobcat guy, he was the only one who stood up to Bill Murray to say, maybe this isn't good. Like we've been running this other ad on this other one. We've been having amazing. I don't remember what he said. Amazing.
Yeah, amazing response. Yeah, exactly.
Amazing response. There we go. That's what he said. Amazing response. And he gives him the old heave ho. He doesn't.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'll take that into consideration or whatever. Will you take that into consideration? He's like, you know what? Me and you we're a lot alike. He tells Bill Murray, like not even close. And then he's like, I'll let you know in 5 minutes or whatever. Like, if he's going to not run the ad. He's like, please don't run this ad or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'll let you know about that in about 5 minutes. He's like, oh, thanks, Mr. Cross. Merry Christmas. Walks away. And then he's like, Grace, the secretary. And he's like, what does he say? Call security. Have this man removed from the building.
What?
And he's
fired?
It's Christmas Eve.
Fired, and then you see him just taking his box out to him just on the curb.
Yeah, he's sitting on the curb and the security dumps all his belongings on the curb or whatever. Oh no, and then she's like, it's Christmas Eve or whatever, and he's like, oh, great, thanks for reminding me. Stop his bonus.
And what an asshole! Like when she's asking everybody what like she's getting all the presents for whoever. I mean, she's like, your brother,
that's right after that.
Only brother. Get him the towel.
Yeah, she has the list, and he's like, it's either you're getting a VCR if you're like he's trying to kiss your ass, or if you're just whoever else is on his list, you're getting a monogrammed bath towel from IBC or whatever the company is.
Yeah.
And
You know what's fun though too with Bill Murray's character,
Not
or
yet.
Bill Murray himself, because you mentioned something about the director couldn't hear it that well. Like it seemed like he was being an asshole, but it seemed like he tried hard like not to smile after he was being an asshole. He didn't seem like a real asshole.
Yeah,
it seemed like he's like a cavalier type of asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is because a lot of it might not have been acting, bro. Like when the director
in this scene, like it's right after he fires this guy, right after he fires Eliot Loudermilk, and he kicks him to the curb, and he's about to go over the list with his secretary, right? Whatever. He's still timing like he's out of the building within 5 minutes because she's going over the list with him. But before that, he's in her little like cubicle, and he's like, "What is this?" And it's like a Christmas picture that her son did that's on the wall or whatever. And he's like, "How many fingers does Santa Claus have?" And she's like, 11. And he's like, "This is garbage." And he like crumples it up and he throws it in the trash. And it's like, damn, dude, that's like her kid's art, man. He's like a 5-year-old or some shit. You know?
Analytically correct. Not anatomically correct. None of it.
Or no, what's the word?
Anatomically?
Yeah.
There you go. Right. There it is.
Like, because it's
there you go.
And stuff.
I was like, you said it wrong, then I said it wrong. Now we got it.
There it is. Yeah, because even the director was saying,
sorry,
he said how difficult it was to work with him, but like he was like he's so creative as an actor, but that's just being nice because he's probably like because he would like say screw the lines too, like some of the lines, like I'm pretty sure like I'll kill you all, like that wasn't part of it.
I'm pretty sure whatever he like a lot of those that were improvised, I wouldn't doubt it. You know,
a lot of those guys made up their own lines. And they say, "Yeah, that's fine. You know, use the script as a guideline."
Yeah, it's like a little, just to keep them in line, but to kind of basically go through. You know, when I used to do theater in high school or whatever, it was very little stuff that I did, but we'd have like a play for one act, and then like as we got going, like we'd cut out lines. You know, we were just like making it quicker, and we were ad-libbing more stuff, and you know, being more physical and whatever. So it was kind of, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting because we had kept doing the same play for weeks and weeks during competition. You know what I mean? So, anywho, I just thought that was interesting. And I would ad-lib shit all the time when we were practicing just to be like an idiot and like mess around and drive our director insane. I remember one time we were doing Scapino and I was an Italian brother or whatever. I get whacked in the part of the thing is I get whacked in the face with an oversized sausage. It looks very phallic. But there's another part where like, you know, we're just out there and I come out on the screen on stage with a bunch of flour around my nose and I'm acting real coked up. And we were doing this at school and luckily like, you know, none of the administrators were there. I could have gotten in trouble, but I did get in trouble with my director. He was like, "What the fuck are you doing out there using drug references in the play?" But anyways, like, you know, Bill Murray, I'm sure he probably drank because he's drinking a lot in this film. You know, they're making him a lot of booze, unless that's water with juice, but I would be drinking if I was him.
Yeah, I would have drinking.
Why not get a little relaxed at the while you're working? But yeah, he gets I think in the next scene or whatever, he gives the brother the towel on the list, and then he's got to get visited by the head honcho, I guess, the Mr. Preston or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things that happened before then. Nothing that necessarily progresses the plot too much, other than I mean, it was kind of. I want to know Nelson's take when he's talking to. I mean, I don't even know necessarily who the guy is, but it seems like he's either on the same level or Bill Murray, or he's a level higher than
his
him.
New boss type of dude with the blonde hair.
No, he's older. No, he's got the gray hair, and he was like, okay. So our research has told us.
That's the guy I'm talking about. His name's Preston. Yeah, that's.
He did a lot of like soaps in the or nighttime soaps in the 80s. I recognize. Yes. Is it talking about the boss?
I guess he's his boss, right? Because he threatens to fire him at the end of the movie. Yeah, that's the guy about with the cat. The cat's guy.
Yeah, and he asked him, "Do you know how many cats there are in the world?" He looks hella stressed when he asked him that question. He's like, I don't have the numbers, sir.
There's a lot of meowing going on.
34 million or whatever. You know how many dogs? Oh, I don't. In the world, no. 40 something million. And our numbers tell us that in the next 20 years, these cats and dogs will turn into full-time viewers.
Full-time viewers.
So we need to make moves now.
He was trying to tell him about the production, right? He's like, yeah, Tiny Tim throws off her crutches. Mary Lou Retton falls back, does a double somersault into one of these things. And then he's like, do you know how many cats? He's like, he's all serious. Frick. Do you know how many cats there are in this country? And he looks at him all serious.
I'm not a cat guy.
Me either. 27 million. How many dogs?
I don't know what, like, and right after their little interaction, he's like, man, I wish I could fire that son of a bitch. So that's why, I mean, Bill Murray's higher up than him based on that statement, but that's someone that he can't fire, though. High enough that he can't fire.
Mm.
He's like, we should start programming right now.
And and then he just like runs and takes off, and that's when he talks to what the heck is her name? I keep forgetting her name because of the Christmas. Claire, there we go. No, the one who works with him.
Brice?
She's basically the one who fucking runs it all, in my opinion. Like his assistant, right? Like she's like irreplaceable to him.
Yeah, this is the Bob Cratchit role. So the person running everything. And he's like, yeah, if you don't stay late, then I can't stay late. And if I can't stay late, I can't stay late. Cut. Louder. Louder.
Dude, when he was saying that was one of the moments, Peacock, when it seemed like he was about to crack up after he said all those lines. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, there's
no line. Another second, he would have been just bursting out laughing, man.
It's almost like he's doing it super exaggerated, and then the guy, when they were cutting the film, they liked that take. They're like, "That's the one." They're like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. See, I wasn't saying things, man.
Yeah.
I know.
I was like, right after that, he meets that blonde guy who comes in, and he's like, "Hey, like, who the hell's this dude?" And he's like, "I need you to give me all the info you can, Grace, on this slime ball named Brice Cummings or whatever his name is." Yeah, it's Brice.
Yeah, and that one, in that part. That's definitely something there's no character like that in A Christmas Carol or anything like that. Like that's definitely a little monkey wrench that gets thrown in specifically for this to give him, like, he already hates everybody, but now this guy's making him like paranoid for some reason. He only has met him for a second, but because like the guy, he was like, where's the big guy? And he's like, oh, he just went upstairs. He's like, oh yeah, I went to college with the big guy's son.
And then he's like touching him and fixing his tie already. And he's like, yeah, well, catch you later. I'm just, whatever. All this kind of, like slime ball vibes. Like, I don't know. Kind of cuts you off and like redirects your conversation type of shit. All right. Yeah. Okay. See you later. Kind of thing.
Yeah. Come to Twitch, Funky the Cat.
I missed that detail. So that's the son of one of his old buddies or something.
Well,
he's friends with he went to school with his son, right?
Okay. The guy who he was talking to about the cats and the dogs, like the old scene.
Preston. That's Preston.
Yeah.
So Preston's son went to school with that Brice guy, and that's how Brice weaseled his way into, like, we'll get there, right?
Now he's trying to weasel his way in.
And if I can't stay late, then I can't stay late. I feel like that's because he like routinely would just like wing like some of the lines and like change hella shit.
Yeah, for sure.
If I can't stay late, then I can't stay late.
And if I can't stay late, he just keeps going.
And the Bobcat guy, you already know that he's ready to like kill someone. He loses his job. He's turned to drinking already. One of those yellow cabs just goes like right up on the sidewalk, damn near. Fucking all the water gets sprayed on him. He's got the brown bag. He's brown bagging it, and the whole thing it got so soaked that the alcohol just busted through the brown bag. He's hella pissed. Just can't get the break, man.
I was gonna say before that is when his brother was waiting in the office, and like some small details like, hey, he invites him to a Christmas dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're walking to, and he's getting changed because he's going to go to some like award thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's character. And so he's like blowing off his brother, and he kind of talks shit about all the people that like kind of backhanded, like, you know, not necessarily talk shit about them, and like, you enjoy these guys and they're always there and you do the same old crap and whatever. And he's like, you know, he's not going to be there, basically. And his brother walks with him down the street. And I wanted to bring up this part where, you know, he's all dressed up and he has his like scarf and he's in the tux or whatever. He's going to go accept his award for some shit. And you see a lady who has like all these presents, and she had just finished Christmas shopping, and she calls a cab, and he blows off his brother. He's like, I'll see you later. And so like, she can't open the door, and he opens the door for her, and he's like, oh man, I think you dropped something. And so she's like, oh, thanks. And so she like looks back, and then he just gets in the cab. And he closes the door.
Dirty vato.
And he's like on the cell phone or something. He's like on the cell phone or something, and she's like cussing him out, like, hey, come on, like, that's my cab. And he like flicks her off. Like, he don't even goes as far as flicking her off, and then the cab takes off.
Just enough to steal her cab.
The old lady was hella
By the way, fuck you and everything you represent.
Excuse me, ma'am. I think you dropped something. Classic fucking dickhead fucking move.
Right. What an asshole.
Hey, those ones still get motherfuckers. Hey, bro, what's that on your shirt? Woo.
Yeah, he blows his brother off.
They are in New York, right?
Yeah, I think they're in New York for sure.
Yeah.
It's like a
actually,
yeah.
Columbus, Ohio.
I think they're Brooklyn or where the fuck, or no, maybe I don't know where they're at.
It's probably Manhattan. It's probably right in
Manhattan.
The network.
Let's see. He's getting some sort of humanitarian awards where he was going.
Yeah, and,
he's like, oh, his speech is all dickhead. He's like, I'll always cherish this award.
Yeah, and he leaves it.
And then, like, immediately after he gets the fuck out of there, and he just leaves it in the cab. And this is where Eliot gets all splashed, and he's cussing out, Mr. Cross there, Bill Murray's character. He's fucking drinking his whatever it is, and the cab fucks him up.
And we did get a little bit of insight into him, at least just the way that he thinks, and it's really like compared to. So I was watching the Muppets Christmas Carol, and that one's pretty, very closely. Well, yeah, it's more. I mean, it's like really based on the book.
Christmas Carol, yeah.
Everything's pretty like, all the characters have the same names and shit like that. And one of the things in there, he's pretty much like a real estate guy.
I love Beaker.
Oh, Beaker, yeah. Little coat, his hair and shit.
He comes in at the end.
Mahomes' hair.
He comes in at the end with the star.
Beaker had Patrick Mahomes' hair, bro.
And so in there, fucking Scrooge, he was like, Christmas season, this is the best time of year because people, they're having their parties and they're spending all their money and, they're not saving up for rent. So this is the time when, I don't know what picking season or something like that, whatever the hell he said. And in here, Bill Murray, when he's talking to his brother's like, what? You don't like Christmas, do you? And he's like, I love Christmas. It's so cold that everybody is going to be home watching the television.
What did he say? Revenue goes up 38%, or I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Or ratings, yeah. Yeah, man, I gotta watch the Muppet one with my kids. That one's fucking hilarious.
On Disney Plus.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do that one. We'll do that tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. There's a lot of football on. Maybe later tonight. Oh, dude, it's funny. You gotta check it out. It's good. All the Muppet movies are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Crispy said he loves Scrooge-ish. Who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called? The Muppet joints are kind of low key, huh?
Hell yeah, dude. They're fucking funny. I remember rocking with those.
Oh shit. Okay. When did Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure come out? Was that before this?
Probably.
That was Tim Burton.
It's like 80 something.
Oh shit, I forgot that was Tim Burton. Yeah, and just real quick, we get a glimpse of Grace also. She takes her young son, Calvin. I couldn't remember the name. She takes her young son Calvin to the doctor super late at night. That's why she couldn't, like, she tells Bill Murray, like, I can't work late. Like, I have to take my son to a doctor's appointment. So we actually see her taking a train, carrying him down the stairs. He doesn't speak. He's like a mute, and we don't know why. And so she's taking him to the doctor, like in a rough neighborhood.
Well, we do know why. Well, I guess we don't know why at this moment.
We don't know why. Yeah, we don't know why yet.
And then we get
explain it. I might have missed that part when I was rewatching it. Finally,
they do.
No, we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was quite difficult to watch the movie with the kids, but it was funny because like my son, he was into it at first. Yeah, he was very critical because I always have to like sell him on it first.
Like, I don't want to watch this shit, Dad. It's boring.
And but becomes like a good dude, and it's like on a naughty list. Like I'm just like kind of watching it. He's like, he's really mean. I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? Real asshole.
Yeah, he's super mean. He's a big asshole in this movie.
Yeah.
And so in the Christmas Carol, we get it's who is it? It's Marley. I don't even know what the heck it is.
I think his name's Jacob Marley, isn't it?
Jacob Marley. There you go. Jacob Marley.
Any relation to Bob?
I was gonna say I always say it with caution because like, is that one of the Marley brothers or no?
I mean, there's so many goddamn.
That's why there's like Steven, and then there's like Junior Gong,
nephew,
all the other ones.
And so Jacob Marley is Scrooged's partner, is what it is, business partner, and he dies first.
Yeah, man.
In this version, we get we get Bill Murray's boss. What the hell is his name? Anybody remember his name?
Lou something.
Lou Hayward. There it is.
There you go.
Oh shit! We're at that part now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Made it back to his office. He's pouring those drinks. He's getting tipsy. And then he sees his old boss, and he's tripped the hell out.
He immediately starts dumping on him.
Oh yeah,
dude! Like the fucking shit starts shaking. The doors, like you see fists through the doors, and he goes and he hides behind his chair, and he grabs the gun, and he's like, "Oh, yeah!" He's ready to rock.
Bow, bow, bow! Like as
that motherfucker.
Here we go. I got
You're supposed to be dead.
I got that scene for us to check out.
Yes.
You're hitting me, Frank, but take it easy on the Bacardi.
Oh, that's what he's drinking.
Oh, it's right after he shot him. Yeah,
no, here it is. Oh yeah, he already shot him.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a little graphic.
To old times, my friend.
Yeah, he's like bang, bango, boom, bop, bang, bang when he's shooting him.
And of course, the old movie trope when someone
gets shot.
Lou Hayward.
Classic.
Your old boss.
Lou Hayward.
But you're.
Did you see his old hair come off with that?
I'm like, he wouldn't even drink. Was he drinking that much for it to come out?
7 years.
He only drunk one drink, so no.
Geez, I mean, to look at you, I wouldn't have guessed more than 3 tops.
Oh, Frank. Frank, you are in trouble. Big trouble.
All right. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that you're right, that I am in big trouble. What exactly would that mean?
Look at me. Look at your future. Now, if you don't change your ways, you're going to wind up doomed, just as I am. 1 minute. I'm on the 14th hole at Wingfoot, lining up a putt. A heart attack later, I'm a worm feast.
No. You're not a worm feast. You're an hallucination brought on by alcohol, Russian vodka, poisoned by Chernobyl. I've been under a lot of pressure lately. I've been putting on a big
Silence!
Ouch.
Now he's supposed to listen.
I had it all. I was a captain of industry. Feared by men, adored by women.
Adored. Let's be honest, Lou.
You
paid for the women.
I'm warning you, Frank. Don't waste your life as I did mine.
Waste? How can you say that? You're a legend in this business. You're the man who invented the miniseries.
Mankind should have been my business. Charity, mercy, kindness. That should have been my business. Don't wait. Get
He's a ghost
yourself
filled
involved.
with regrets.
Well, it's too late for me, but it's not for you. You can be saved.
What up, Trip?
It's not too late. And Bill Murray's kind of like,
movies that you see somebody respond to the smell of what a rotting body would smell like.
yeah.
When it wasn't even that. It was only his breath that got.
Yeah, exactly, right?
His body.
know, smells the strongest sense tied to memory. I bet you he was like, damn, I remember that. He's like, this motherfucker used to be all in my face, stank ass breath.
Yeah,
the smell of death.
Decomposing.
The part that
had
me cracking up was the dude just like boasting himself up. I was rich, this, and I was adored by women, and he was like, "Come on, you paid all those women." Oh man.
Yeah, and then he's like, "This is no joke." He gets pissed off. Lou, he's warning him. It's like, "This is your final chance. You don't end up like me." He grabs him by the throat, and like he, old school, early, late '80s special effects goes through the glass. Not bad. Kind of holds up actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, except for when he falls. Then that's kind of like the Die Hard.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I didn't know Die Hard mimicked it. I didn't know Die Hard was a sequel to Scrooged. It
seemed like the same fall that Hans Gruber, like almost the same, really, if you think about it. But he falls right back into his chair in his office, and then he's like, "What?" He's still screaming. When he looks over to the phone, and the phone's dialing by itself, dials Claire's number. Somebody he hasn't talked to in 15 years, but it goes to her voicemail or whatever. He's all freaked out, so he reaches out. He's like, "Call me anytime." He sounds all frantic and
he's like
psychotic.
I know it's been 15 years, but
he's like, something terrible happened, and he looks around and like everything's fine. The office, like nothing's all shot up or broken, or there's no corpse in there.
It's funny too,
like,
because she
we're
knew
not.
it just by the tone of his voice. You were frightened. Did you see a ghost? She fucking knew it. Goddamn, women are good.
Freaked out.
Yeah. So right before that scene ends, though, like right after he hangs up the phone, he chugs his drink. Right, he swallows the craft ice cube, but when he pulls it out, it's the golf ball that fell out of his the rat pushed out of the guy's skull. He drops it on the floor here on the table.
It was clean though. It didn't look like the gross one that came out of his head.
Yeah, it looked like it was in his drink, but then he passes out.
To remind you, like, because I mean, that's always what I keep thinking. Was he just dreaming this entire time? Is this just all part of the dream? But I think that golf ball is just to remind you it's not a dream. And then even when he drops it on the table, it keeps bouncing.
Mm-hmm. And that's when his eyes roll back and he faints, like, "Oh gosh, that just happened."
Yeah, trip the hell out.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of Bacardi he's drinking. You think it's some aged shit?
Nah, it looked like some regular shit.
Yeah, he's already doing it wrong if you ask me. You're supposed to have like some Macallan 12 or something on there. You know what I mean? You're supposed to have something real fancy and ritzy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you see what's her name? Damn, I keep forgetting the name.
Grace.
Claire.
Grace.
No, Grace.
Oh yeah, Grace, the assistant.
Man, I mean, there's so many family members living in. I mean, what looks like a pretty small-ish, very small like spot. And the daughter, "Did you get your Christmas bonus?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm wearing it.
I'm drying my hair with it." Didn't even get a VCR. Could have at least gotten a VCR.
I know, right?
Bastard.
But no bonus, no VCR, just a towel because he's a dick.
I would have burnt that towel.
I would have quit, but I guess not. I mean, shit, it's probably a pretty good job. She's working for like a TV executive, right? An assistant to a TV exec, and it's probably good enough money to help support all those people up in there.
Did you get your Christmas bonus? Shut up, you greedy motherfucker! Don't you know I'm barely making ends meet?
You gotta take the train everywhere. Your brother don't.
Cut. Stay the line.
The next part, though, right after they cut back to the next day, and they're talking. They bring up the news. Oh man,
that's hilarious. They bring him the paper about the ad review. They ran his promo.
God, he was so elated, bro.
They ran his promo, and it's like, check this out. And it's I don't know that girl's name, but she's the mom in Monster Squad. If you guys have ever seen that movie,
Okay.
It's been a while, but I remember Monsters.
What movie? Monsters what?
Monster Squad. It's also an 80s movie. Like a kids. It's like a monsters. Well, yeah, it's like a Halloween Goonies. That's the way I would kind of phrase it.
He was way too excited. He was like, I knew that ad would work. You cannot pay for this kind of publicity.
Yeah, I told the old lady, an old woman died watching the ad last night. He gets all pumped up.
Talk about.
Like, I want this running around the clock with a disclaimer. Anybody with a heart condition better leave the room right now.
Just hype up Christmas Carol.
Hey, listen, brother, he's a real special
impersonation.
He was like,
It scared her to death. And it's funny because he covers his face. I think he's sad, but then he gets all pumped up.
Yeah. I want to know what Nelson thought of the next part, though. When Nelson, do you remember the next part where he goes out to the movie set and then now he's talking to one of the censors, like who's there, like on set, and she was like, "I'm gonna have to censor this because her nipples are showing."
That's my favorite.
I want to see.
And then I look to see, are they really showing? I gotta see
That's
some.
what I'm going for. I want to see the nipples.
You could see,
And you can see her left, the top.
You can see both of them, the top of both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, the little aerial action.
Not in half.
Exactly.
Let me go back and pause. So just to verify.
Yeah.
See, the rules to keep it non-pornographic. If you show only
Oh no, the captions are covering it.
Hold on, let's let Nelson. Hold on.
Big fan of the aerial.
Let me cook here. Let me cook. If you show
can see her nipples.
her nipple times 2, it's pornographic material, adult film.
Okay.
I saw the percentage right there. They were perfectly exposed to the mind.
Okay, so even if it's not necessarily the actual nipple, the areolas count as the nipple in TV.
Oh yeah, that's a good nipple to me. That's what I said. Areola is a nipple pretty much.
Remember White Man Can't Jump? They basically showed like her areola, like in like one nipple.
Yeah, her left one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good.
Sure, Nelson remembers.
I remember. You know, it's like, hey, it's just like this. Hey, who farted?
That South Bronx Puerto Rico titty I've ever seen.
Just relax, let it come to your nostrils on its own. Yeah, I looked. What's wrong with that? Yeah, I looked.
He's like, what does he tell the censor? He's like, Dickens would have wanted to see her nipples then.
And one of the guys there, he was like, you can't even see it. And he was like, and they're really trying to look at it.
Yeah. It's right there.
Have you ever been in a situation like that, Nelson, where there's a censor or, you know, someone who was on set like that who had to
grab it.
come in on any
I was in
situation?
high school, man. I was in high school in 10th grade watching Romeo and Juliet. Remember that? Romeo and Juliet?
Oh, yeah. They showed titties in there.
They showed her breasts, and she's like 15 years old. We were 15 years old, too. But I mean,
I watched that movie. We watched that in high school.
I remember seeing the Titanic being shown to us in high school. We saw some titty in Titanic.
You know, they say that wasn't really her titties.
Where?
Probably not.
It was like some prosthetic shit. Like,
interesting.
Oh, Romeo and Juliet.
That's what they say. No. In Titanic. See, when somebody told me that, I said, I refuse to believe that.
Yeah.
The titties.
This one guy.
Right? She was bad.
This one guy in high school. So they're.
Leo hella busted in there too, huh? He was like,
Romeo and Juliet. This guy was known for, check this out, guys. This guy was known for popping wood during the Romeo and Juliet scene. This one kid in his class. He was bucked for the next 3 years at high school. I don't know if it was true, but some guy was spreading the rumor out. So hey, he was watching Romeo and Juliet. Hey, they're like, oh, what?
The guy never
it was all fun back then. It was all
a little bit different when you're wearing tights and wearing jeans. Can't really hide it too much in tights.
The problems you have, Alex. Okay.
And if you weren't pitching no real tent, you know what I mean? That's not impressive. You know what I mean? It's like, wherefore art thou, boner?
You're walking down the school hallways with a binder in front of you.
right?
Wow.
Because if he was swinging, he'd be all about it. Juliet, Ferris, just swinging. There'd be hell of bitches going to see the play. Did you hear about?
I want to think about what Nelson what thinks about when Claire first comes up here, because now we start seeing a little bit of a vulnerable side of Bill Murray's character. Now, what do you think, Nelson?
Claire, oh yeah, it was a good balance, you know. Actually, there was a couple other moments you saw Bill Murray. His character was crying when he was watching the Ghost of Christmas Past or whatever.
Well, I just mean up to this point. You know, he's still being a badass, but
He's been a dick the entire time.
One person from his past.
You're seeing the evolution.
Oh wait, did we mention that the censor got? Did we mention the censor got knocked the fuck out?
No, we didn't. I like some metal. What? I don't even know.
He's carrying it's a light post prop, so it's a huge long shit. And so they after she says the shit about the nipple, the two guys that were looking, he tells them, "Hey, get out of here then," or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and the guy turns around.
You can't even barely see it.
Yeah, the short guy like just barely ducks. Bill Murray fully ducks, and the censor doesn't see it coming and gets whacked in the face. Knocked out cold. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit either.
Broke her nose and shit.
To him, it just saved him an issue. He was gonna have to talk his way out of it. Now she got knocked out.
And he's like, the costume stay, the costume stay, and he gets to, and then he gets to talk to Claire, unbothered.
Yeah,
sort of.
It was interesting.
I would have voted to keep the nipples.
You kind of think it's more of a comedy, and then he gets all serious, man, with Claire.
Yeah, he does.
It's kind of like me off a little bit, man.
You got it. There's even some horror aspects of it. It's like, you know what I mean? They got it on here.
Oh yeah, and right before Claire came. Just the it always made me laugh, but the part where like the guys are hammering while he's trying to talk. Will you please quit with the hammering? Yeah. So upset about the hammering.
Yeah, he keeps mentioning it the whole time they're talking or whatever. He turns He turns the censor's head too. He's like, "See, look, they look fine," or whatever. When the dancers are dancing, and he's trying to talk to Claire, but he's obviously busy. There's a whole bunch of shit going on. He's telling the people to stop hammering. But that's when she tells him it looks like he's seen a ghost, and she asks him about the phone call, and he's like, "Oh yeah, last night, I came across your number, and I just happened to call you or whatever, some bullshit." She's like, "I know." She's like, "I know that voice, Lumpy," and we're like, "Lumpy," and so this guy comes out of nowhere, and he's like, "Excuse me, Mr. Lumpy," and he's like, "Hey, nobody calls me. Most people call me Mr. Cross around here, or I don't know what."
Yeah,
and he's like, "I don't know, I can't get these antlers glued on these dormice because that guy Preston." That guy Preston wanted dormice in the production. That way they could get the cat viewership up. So he tells
how many cats are in America.
Well, Staples. Have you tried Staples?
Yeah, and then she's like, "Staples, don't you dare put whatever." She goes on this rant, and he's just like smiling, looking at her. And he's like,
"Humane society on you."
Yeah, he's like, "Same old Claire, always trying to save the world." And then she's like, "Same old Lumpy or whatever, still trying to run it."
Hey, she been waiting around for 15 years for that call though, because she came running.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Hey, get out of here! Who are you anyway?" And he starts yelling, and she's like, "You called me here. What are you talking about?" And he's yelling at the little boy, like in the way back, and turns out to be Calvin, which is Grace's son. And she's like, "It's my son. I thought I'd bring him to watch a live TV show today." And he's like, "Does he work here?"
I thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
What did he say? What did you say?
He was cupcaking for no reason.
Yep. What did you say? I thought it would be fun for him to be able to see a movie set. Does anybody's having fun around here?
He gets all pissed off, and he starts trying to have a serious conversation. Yeah, tries to have a serious conversation with Claire after that, though. She's like, he finds out that she never married, and he's like, all this stuff. He's flirting with her, and she's all into him. But the hammering's still fucking going on in the background. Would you hold the damn hammering, please? And he gets super pissed, "For the love of God." And he does it one more time, and then finally the guy's like, "All right," whatever. He holds it off. Whatever. And the whole fucking set comes crashing down like all over the place after that because the guy stops hammering. But that's just before that. Claire was able to give him her her outreach for help card, or like her, where she works at a shelter. Just she can contact him. Card. Yeah, her business card, so he can contact her. And she basically walks away in all that commotion when
he already has her number. But
yeah, but she walks away during all that commotion, and he tries to like find her, and he's like, Claire.
It's a status thing, though. I think her giving him the card.
You know what they were saying
Got
about
my
her
own card now
when they were shooting
Claire took a beating.
Like that chick Claire. They said like there was different times during the shoot that she would have like hysterical breakdowns, like crying fits, where they would have to stop the shoot.
Seriously, damn.
This movie was like a disaster shooting.
That's crazy. You can kind of see it, like, in some of these scenes with Bill Murray, I feel. Or maybe it's just Bill Murray that made people feel that way.
No, it definitely was. Like, he would just berate. He would berate. And, like, I guess he was feeling, like, all this pressure because, like, he originally didn't want to be the main guy. He was like, fuck, this is my first time I'm main star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming off the success of Ghostbusters. And he's just like, being part of an ensemble, and now he's the main guy, and all this anxiety, and like he was just projecting it on everybody.
I didn't know this was his first solo.
I never knew that.
It wasn't his first. I mean, I think he did one right before this. What was it called?
If he did, I gotta look at his filmography, but I don't remember.
It was like critically acclaimed, but like
David Keaton.
He had nothing on his own before this to like stand on.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Oh, but we all know who he was when it came out. You knew who Bill Murray was.
Yeah. But he's starring in that joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he did like Saturday Night Live stuff, right?
Yeah,
and
he did Ghostbusters. Another one, was it The Rat Race? No,
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack
before
was
this.
83.
Yes,
that's the one that kind of put him on, right?
Like no,
Yeah, for sure.
Caddyshack was before
Ghostbusters.
Like
2
years before.
Yeah.
But he played some weird character. He kind of mumbled like this.
Yeah, he wasn't like a main dude in that one.
Put the call the hole.
I just remember this right now, bro. Before like
this
is like during. I don't know if it was during SNL or right before, but like he got caught moving like hella pounds of weed.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, and then I don't know if he did like actual time or he got. I don't know how he got. If he got, you know what I mean. Got a slap on the wrist or something, but he got caught with like mad work. You know what I mean? Him and his bro.
Wow.
Doing his thing, man.
Bill banging and banging.
You know what I'm saying? All right,
continue. Speaking of banging, he's got that young one now. See?
Oh, yeah, bro. Hey, Khalees could dance her ass off, so she's fucking his brains out, bro.
He's going to die in the act.
Young dudes.
That's a good way to go for him, but probably terrible for her if he were to die in the act.
And
it depends. Post or pre, post or pre orgasm.
That's how I want to go out.
She's like, Little Nas, I told you to go to your room. I'm with your stepdad.
Damn.
So this and what Tino said, yeah, Bill got popped with 10 packs on a plane. He said,
there you go.
I believe it was for personal use.
That's cross state lines, bro. That's federal, bro.
Federal.
So the way that this movie differs from like the original Christmas Carol is he's going to be visited by 3 ghosts, but it's like the first one is going to be there at noon.
He's like tomorrow at noon or whatever.
Normally at midnight is when this happens.
That's how such of a hard ass he is. Like you got to schedule him. You know what I mean? Like, listen.
Well, no, it was scheduled in the other one, but it was at midnight though.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so this was just during the day.
Yeah, that is the theme. All 12 o'clocks.
Yeah, and so he, he's having the dinner with the rich kid and the old man, and right after he sees that it's noon, he gets a water. And there's like an eyeball in the water, and he starts freaking the hell out.
He ordered a highball, I think, like some sort of like drink or whatever, like the same as his boss, I think. But yeah, like he's like tripping out because that Brice guy that he met earlier, real briefly, who went to school with that Preston guy's son. Yeah. So it's his It's the guy he can't fire, who he works for, basically, or with, the guy who calls the shots. And then he's having a meeting with that Brice dude, and it's like, oh shit, this guy, like, I briefly met him, and now he's coming in, and we're all having lunch together. And they order drinks, and this dude's like tripping him out, and he's like, it's noon. Is this motherfucking guy, the ghost? And he's like zooming in on his like mouth, and he's just talking. He's like, I just came in to take the burden off your shoulders. And so he's gonna like, basically, he's coming into like zeroing in on his job, and he's like tripping the fuck out. And so the waiter brings all the drinks. The waiter brings all the drinks, and he looks down at him, and he's like, right in the middle of the other guy's conversation, he's like talking to him, and he's trying to be all polite. He's like, I'm not trying to like, you know, whatever. I'm just trying to take some stress off your shoulders. And if you need me to call some shots for you, like I can do that. Or like, you know, I'm trying to do all this stuff for him. And then like that drink comes in.
That's all you heard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he does that loud shriek, and he just keeps going like, oh, like you guys don't see that? Like he keeps seeing it. Like the eyeball doesn't disappear from his drink. And then the waiter's like, I'll take it away. Apologies. Like, I don't know. And he looks at him in the face or whatever. He's like, are you him? Are you he? Or what does he tell him? He corrects him.
Yeah. Then he sees the guy who's got like the dessert or whatever that's on fire, and he just sees him get lit on fire. And
and he's like reacting. He's like, ah! Again, he's all yelling when they're trying to have a conversation, and like nobody else sees it. But there was a part before they brought all this stuff out where he sees that guy Preston cleaning his silverware with the napkin. So he starts doing it too, like, oh, like, you know, like kissing ass or whatever. And it's funny because I used to do that shit for like the longest time, and I forgot why. But it's because of this stupid ass movie. I just got into the habit of going to restaurants, and I would clean my silverware already that was wrapped in the, you know, that fancy napkin shit or whatever. I would just like repolish it.
Like, me and my girl, we always do that shit. And like, I used to never do that until I started going to noodle houses, like with the Asian homies. Because the first we would all order it, and the first thing they start doing is cleaning all the shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, word, okay. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I was just about to eat. You know what I mean? Hey, babe. Oh,
and
I would do the same shit. It's funny.
The dude,
because you know, noodle houses ain't the cleanest. You know what I mean? Like,
Tino, he said that when he told the dude, I thought you were Richard Pryor. Yeah, because he saw him all the way on fire. Goes up, gets one of the champagne things with the ice and water in it, and throws all the water on them. I am sorry.
And then right after that, it's all wet there. So he's like embarrassed, and he's gonna like, I gotta go to the bathroom, or I don't know what the fuck. And so he walks right past where he already threw all the water on that guy, and he fucking slips and he falls down. He eats it.
That wasn't scripted.
Oh, he just fucking slipped and fell. Yeah.
I mean, all the water that he threw.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was the clip they kept. They ended up keeping that one. They're like,
that looked like it wasn't a stunt man. Well, I mean, I don't know. It could have been because they shot it from behind, but it looked like a hard fall.
It was Bill. I caught him.
Got him from behind.
Pause.
Like a Nelly. Nelly graduated.
But that was funny. He's like, no, sir, that's the baked Alaska. And he's like, he's on fire.
Hey, you know where that pause comes from, Nelly? It comes from Cameron and all them. And like, what's that dude's name? Dame Dash, all those fools, all the Harlem cats. They're the ones that they started all that shit. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he was like,
I didn't know about.
Pause. They say like that. Pause.
At that part, though, he was like, I'm going to have some air. He runs over, grabs the water, puts the guy out. Oh, I thought you were Richard Pryor. Proceeds to walk outside like he's going to get some fresh air because he's tripping out, right? And he fucking slips real hardcore. Yeah, that's totally him because that's one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like.
They said Michael Jackson, too, right? The group said Michael Jackson, too.
And then so he calls a cab.
The Pepsi commercial. I knew exactly what you're talking about, Brad. That shit was mad.
No, Alice was looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I couldn't think of it. Damn,
and they lit his shit all the way up, Brad. He's starting rolling around and shit. It was like,
both had different reasons why they were lit, but
lit. The sparklers or the pyrotechnics on the stage, right?
Yeah. And that shit caught on the activator.
I saw that TV movie series.
And the made for TV, with the Lifetime.
The made for TV Jackson 5 story or whatever. That shit was dope. 3-night season premiere. What is it? 3-night special TV event.
Hell yeah!
Do you remember when they redid?
I got another scene for us here. This is when he runs into the ghost of Christmas Past.
Yeah, he calls the cab and like, if you notice, the regular cab's gonna come, but the ghost of Christmas Past cab just comes and backs into it.
So the first ghost, the old boss, that was like just a preemptive ghost.
Thought he was
That's the business partner ghost. Remember, he gets visited by Jacob Marley, so that's the business partner.
Okay.
And he's the one who explains what's going to happen. He has to explain.
In the original story, that's the one where he basically, like, after he like dies, Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge, basically consumes the other half of the business and takes all his shit. Right? He's like, comes to warn him, you don't want to end up like me, fucking Scrooge. It's the old tale, as old as time goes. Whenever Charles Dickens wrote this bitch,
tale as old as time.
All right, here we go.
Rising in the east.
Whoa! Hey, man! Oh!
Bang.
Wrong way, jerk! Nice hit back there, solid hit. Down! Going the wrong way.
Relax, Frank. Enjoy the ride.
How do you know? Take me home.
Oh man, Marty says never seen this one before.
you're in for a treat, Marty.
He said Willy Wonka vibes. Totally.
I mean, what's his name?
Frankie.
Said dude is hot. Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Bugged out.
This is where I grew up.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I grew up.
It's like a reference to Smoking Out a Little.
You know what? I thought he was one of the owls at first. He looked like one of the
What is the
owls.
first what?
I thought he was
Like
one
Alf?
of the owls, like chucked up.
Oh, I thought you said Alf. I was like, what? Did I miss that?
Owls. You know Santa's owls?
Yeah.
Elves. Yeah, he did kind of look like elfish.
He kind of looked like that, right?
He looked grunged up though, because I guess the past, I don't know, his past was grungy. Because he takes them back to 1958 and we get a glimpse of his dad brings him like a 3-pound veal for Christmas. His mom's smoking a cigarette and she's pregnant with his brother. He's like dirt ass poor. It's cold in the house, you can tell. He just wants to watch TV and get a Christmas present. And what does the ghost tell him? I think the ghost tells him, he's like, he tells the ghost, he's like, I know what you're trying to do. You brought me to the past so I can get all sappy and, sentimental or whatever. And I'm going to cry. And he's like, they all cry when they see mama, or I don't know what they say, what he says. And it's like Niagara Falls, or I don't know what the hell. So basically, it's a trip down memory lane and he sees his poor upbringing or whatever it is. And his dad's an asshole and, it's Christmas. Yeah. And it's Christmas and they're not doing anything. He doesn't have any gifts. He gives them, I think it's veal, right?
Yeah.
Milk-fed veal is what he got him.
5 pounds of veal, I think.
There you go. So he throws that on the floor in front of him while he's watching TV or whatever. And anyways, like it's a real sad scene and he's there. The ghost explains, that they're just ghosts. They can't see or hear them or whatever, right? And the mom's like, I'm going out. And she's like, Merry Christmas, Frankie, or whatever. And that's when he starts crying. And the ghost pops in and he's like, Niagara Falls.
I was crying because it's $50 worth of meat in today's
market. Yeah, today's market. It's like $40 or $50 worth of piece of milk-fed veal. I don't know.
It was
Lame excuse.
Totally daddy wasn't there vibes.
Yeah, because his dad just falls asleep on the couch with like a lit cigarette. Puts his fedora over his head. Basically calls him a bitch. Goes to bed.
Yep. And Frank's had enough of that. He needs to take me back to the office.
Yeah.
Takes him back to the office, but not the present day office.
It was forward a few years. I think it's like 68, maybe.
Yeah, 68.
1968. We see Frank with his Bill Murray's character with his long hair.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. That's when my wife was like, okay, I'm going to sleep because it was getting late, but she was into the movie. She thought it was really good because she doesn't like old movies at all. She won't watch anything like if it came out like 3 years ago. It's like, no, it's too old. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he needed to be trying to hang out with Mrs. Claus, who was taking those Xerox pictures of her booty.
Oh, yeah, Tina.
I got a dumb question. I was raising my hand, but now I can't wait. Veal. That's deer?
Deer.
Or is that venison?
Oh, no.
That's venison.
Okay.
What is veal?
Baby
It's
cow.
baby cow.
Baby cow.
Yeah.
That seems cruel. I don't know. Maybe it's real tender though.
Isn't like Wagyu that like fat, but that's like the fat drunk beer yogurt induced version?
It's better when it's a it's veal.
I thought those
like,
Wagyu cows get like massages like every day. And
That's it. They're like, hey, and they get fed I don't know, like super.
And like I heard they're like on harnesses and like they're raised to never even stand on their own, like so like just on these harnesses.
What? Their legs don't hit the ground.
They never stand on. I mean, someone fact check me, but I'm pretty sure
they live better lives than
I heard
us.
something like that. Peacock and right. It's cruel but tender meat.
It's so good.
They live
They
better.
live better lives than us.
Hey, next time I eat a chicken sandwich, I'm gonna ask that motherfucker, hey, does this chicken live good? Oh, it didn't. Okay, it doesn't matter.
The chickens probably didn't, but anyway.
No.
Man, and see, and
Hey,
yes,
remember
that's what
Modern Life? Heifer, he was adopted by the family of wolves. He was a cow, right?
Heifer from
like,
Rocco's
he's like, we ended up loving you so much. He's like, we're fattening you up because we're gonna eat. We're gonna eat. He's like, Dad used to nickname you Steak. He was a cow raised by a family of wolves.
That was a weird show, but yeah, I used to watch that all the time, man.
It was
that's good stuff. They redid it, like they brought it back, and they were like in space. Yeah, but it was like kind of boring. I didn't finish it.
In space?
Yeah, it was like a movie, bro. It was a movie. It was kind of.
That is
I got halfway.
too much right there.
It was.
Funky.
You can find it somewhere. But yeah, he's in 1968, and he's at the office, and there's a big office party, and you see Lou, who was the ghost who warns him, Haywood or whatever his name is, right? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
And so, he's having fun at the party, and you see a young Frank working still with the files, and he's like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a party going on around. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to finish this up, and, I'll get to it or whatever. We see that girl.
Even Tina, after she got done Xeroxing her booty, she came up to Frank and was like, I don't know if she said want to dance or
she wanted to go have some Chinese or whatever, get some sushi.
Yeah, that's his thing, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not his thing because and she was like, and he's like, no, I heard like all this bad stuff about it. You could get sick. You shouldn't eat that stuff. And he walks away from her, and he's like watching with the Ghost of Christmas Past, and he's like, man, what am I doing? Like, turn around. I should be with that right there. Like, I don't know. And he's like,
when I was in New York, it's some fire ass Chinese food, bro.
Well, the ghost tells him not that one, Frank, and so he pulls him into the elevator. And next, you see Frank like leaving. He's not at the party. He's like running some errands. I guess going to get some more booze, or I don't know. He's going to a store, but he gets knocked the fuck out. The door swung open, and hits him right in the face. And he gets like laid out. Looks concussed. It's like a CJ Stroud situation. Yeah.
Real quick. 4th grade, stupid me. I just think it's cool. I'm gonna walk into the other side of the exit, walk through the exit at the thrift store. The sensor shit you step on, it opens.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell my man's on the other side, go open it for me. And I'm just standing too close. He opens it, boom! Hit my teeth to this day.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, happened to be. I already had the adult teeth in it there. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah, that whole awkward interaction. Like then Claire goes to like kind of pick him up, but she drops her bag and he goes down to pick it up, and they bump heads again. And
classic.
It was a lot.
Classic Hallmark scene right there because it's Christmas time. It's cold. There's decorations at the store that they're in front of the storefront. You can see people inside shopping and on the street walking by. All that stuff's going on when they're doing that conversation. He invites her back to the Christmas party, and she's like, nah. I don't want to go to a Christmas party right now. He's like, neither do I. And then she's like, and then like, so she starts to walk away, and he's like, hey, young lady, or whatever. She turns around, and what does he tell her? I don't even know if he says anything. And she
get some Chinese. Is that what he
no,
said?
she says that.
Oh yeah, she said it. My bad.
And then he's like, sure, I guess, or whatever. Like he ends up going with her because he likes her, not that Tina girl or whatever. I guess. And then, fast forward, boom, they're like in an apartment together. And the next scene is her and
fast forwarded to what year? Do you remember?
72.
Bogey?
1969. 1 year later, or I guess, right, the next Christmas.
And hold on, and before you get into it, she was a keeper, man. She was in the tub smoking a joint with the.
That's what I was gonna say. She's in the tub with all the candles lit, like having a bath, and she has the roach clip just hitting the joint. They show her smoking it for a while, and then she turns around and you can still see her holding it. And I was like, yeah.
She was smoking dope, man.
Dude, well, there's like me seeing this movie like when I was a kid. I never noticed it.
Smacked out of the Reagan administration.
And seeing maybe that part got cut out, like if it was actually on TV.
I wouldn't watch it. I had the movie, but I just read I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, real quick,
probably did.
a couple seconds.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is like I was just thinking about other stuff when I saw her in the
exactly when I was a kid.
Yeah,
or younger.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid.
The woodpile, were you, Bogey?
Oh, when she in the bathroom.
You have the woodpile, were you? You're thinking about other stuff.
Oh yeah, listen, I was a regular. I was the dude that popped the boner doing the play. I was him.
Wood.
What was his name? That dude in high school or whatever it was. Did he have a nickname after that?
No, he didn't. He just
had the rep.
This Romeo Boner. Bomeo. I don't know.
Bomeo. Not my best work, but
yeah, it'll work for now.
Sounds like something a kid would come up with. Bonio.
It's really funny now, right?
I mean, they're like 15, right?
When we were kids, we'd come up with a bunch of stupid nicknames all the time for everybody, and those things would stick, bro. Oh, yeah. One time there was this guy who made a list, and it was like a hit list, bro, of people he was gonna fuck up, and his nickname became Columbine. So fucked up.
But those dudes literally had a list and went about.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy's nick that stuck with him all throughout high school. That people just call him Columbine. It's like, fuck, dude.
And shout out to Crispy, who just gifted a sub on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I know says we're really close to a hype train. So if anyone wants to support the channel, now's the time. Go ahead and throw in either subscribe, do gift a sub over there, or
that's the
cheer with some bit.
Is that the follow that you hit here, Alex?
What's that?
The follow? Is that the sub here? This is new for me.
No, you follow and then you can sub after that.
I don't know what the hype train necessarily does, but like I'm assuming it like also like pushes it, like the algorithm.
You'll level up or some shit. I don't know. This is not our final form.
Power up.
I'll get to it.
I love that.
But yeah, she's smoking the J in the tub or whatever, and she gets dressed and they go out there and he's like peeking at the Christmas gifts or whatever. And what does she say? She's like, it's early. It's not even Christmas Eve yet or something. It's early. What does she say? She asks him something about like, did you guys not wait until Christmas or whatever? And what does he say? He's like, if it isn't spoiled by then, or something like that, in reference to the all he got for Christmas was veal.
Yeah. Oh shit!
And then he gets her the knives, which is
the Ginsu knives.
He was even trying to justify it to himself. Then he's like, "Man, I know Ginsu knives; those were like really good knives." And it's like,
no, because he couldn't remember what they were called. He's like, those knives are really good. And the ghost was like, Ginsu. Yeah. He's like, agreeing with them. Like, yeah, those are pretty good knives.
Yeah, they cut through metal.
Yeah, for sure.
Even
Those-
Julian Price.
My parents had those. Cut through metal.
Tomato that cut through metal.
Yeah.
Oh, it had a
They
it had a slogan.
Then still cut a tomato after.
It's before you guys' time. I remember when I was a child.
Yeah, my parents had those.
Man,
My
those
parents had
motherfuckers
those.
came and knocked on our
Commercial.
door.
The guy with the
Hey,
construction
they
worker
knocked
was
on our
hanging
door. We bought those
with
motherfuckers.
the crazy
man.
glue.
What? Oh, hold on. We got like 3 people talking at once. What were they called, Nelson?
Ginsu.
Yeah, Jinsu.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where. That's right. That's why I
the
call
Jinsu
them.
nest, but it was like it was from
Ginsu
some type of infomercial.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the infomercials were always cheesy.
Yeah.
Slices and dices.
Yeah, slices and dices. So it shows it sliced enough.
Even creates, even makes Julian Fries.
It's cutting tomatoes like it's nothing. Slice and through like it's a hot knife through butter.
Right? And then they would slice the tomato, then slice it again. Like, oh shit, again.
Yeah, I remember those.
Even thinner.
Yeah, but he chopped so quick. And you get one. I can chop as easy as a commercial.
Right?
Like, Mom, make a hamburger taste like McDonald's. She couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. The pie was too thick. She used bread, wasn't buns.
My dad actually worked in produce at a local grocery store for many years. Like he was the head of the area there or whatever. So he always had knives in like little sleeves inside his pockets and stuff. And he even had scars from when he would cut himself by accident because he didn't give a shit. He would just put them back there. However, sometimes he'd grab them. But anyway, he's like, but yeah, they had those Ginsu knives at the house. And then he was like, man, fuck these. Like he would always just have his own knives that he had at work and use those at the house. And he was like, you know, and he would sharpen those things. He had like knife sharpeners. Like, yeah. And my dad, like to this day, yeah, for sure. That's the one. Yeah. Those are the ones. Yeah. So to this day though, like when
the whittle shit, he was a tweak.
Whittle
shit.
My dad's
knife sharp.
My uncle does that also. My dad's brother. That's crazy. They're all into knives, I guess, when they were young. Who knows, right?
Yeah,
but
my uncle had throwing knives and shit, and we had a little thing of wood and just.
To this day, though, because my dad worked in produce, like when I smell cilantro, like that just reminds me. It just reminds me of my dad. I don't know. It's weird.
Smells smells the strongest sense tied to memory.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I heard that somewhere before an hour ago.
It's facts, bro.
Yeah, Bogey said it like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah. If you say like, you smell like mom's cooking or something, like, so you're like, oh shit, brings you back, or like even like a woman you used to sleep with, you know what I mean? You smell the fragrance, you're like, oh shit, where's she at? Like you like immediately like it's just it
takes you back 25 years.
That's why those strippers, man, those strippers are like powdered up. They smell so good.
It's like potpourri or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway.
I don't know what it is.
I mean, shit, the sweet smell of vagina.
Well, Frank is still in the past.
Oh, Bogey. What type of show is this, Bogey, man? Come on.
Did I say that out loud?
I heard you.
I think you just can hear my thoughts.
Well, look, we're in that zone because that's what she got him for Christmas. She got him a Kama Sutra book.
Nice.
And he gave her the knives.
Positions.
Yeah, and then he tells the ghost, he's like, it's not like I needed a guidebook or anything. And then he's like, it says here,
of the gift.
Yeah, he's like, there's a thing here that says there's a place where you touch a woman, it'll make her bark or whatever. And then like she starts barking and they start roughhousing or whatever. And he's like, all right, like before you know it, the scene changes and fast forwards a couple of years and the ghost is taking him to now it's like 1971. And he is at the what's the name of this? The Frisbee dog show or whatever it may be. And you see a big guy in a costume, you know, on the floor, and there's a mailman, and it's what is it? What is it? What is it? And there's a live audience with a bunch of kids, and they're sitting in there, and it's one of those live shows, and it's I guess one of his first
like a game show.
Yeah, one of his first gigs, like in the TV production area. He's worked his way up from the office intern or whatever he was before, right? And now his relationship with Claire is in the future here, and turns out he's the mascot, doing all this prancing around on the floor.
So you mean to say he used to be with the people that he despised?
Yeah, in a sense, right? Like,
he treats like dirt, the fucking, you know what I mean? The fucking talent.
Yeah, exactly. Because later on you see him talk to one of the guys in costume on production. It's like, oh, get the hell out of you again or whatever. It's like, is this on straight? And real, yeah, exactly. So here he's actually
where he came from, bruh.
you see him. He takes off the thing, and he's all sweaty, and you see Lou there, and Lou's chatting up an assistant, and he's like, "Yeah, that trip to South Palm Beach, it's going to be me, you, my wife. Oh no, my wife's going to be in New York or something that weekend. Well, I guess it's just going to be me and you." And she gets all like giggly or whatever. And he's like, "Hey," yeah, and he's like, "Hey, Frank, you and bring your girl to dinner tonight or whatever. What's her name? Claire. Yeah, whatever." And so like Claire meets him on the way out.
Bring that Kama Sutra book with
She's
you
like,
too.
no. We got dinner with who do they have dinner with? They're friends instead.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to. That's who Claire is saying. She's like, "No, we have it's Christmas Eve. Yeah, we have dinner tonight. Like it's been planned for 2 months."
He's trying to move up in the world, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's like, "This is my." He's like, "This is an opportunity of a lifetime. If you could put your selfish needs aside for just 60 seconds,
Exactly.
basically." And he sees this is where you really start to see him become the asshole that he is. And present day Frank is looking on from the audience, like, "Oh my God," And she says, "I think it's best if we just separate for a while."
That was quick.
And then, it's been a year plus maybe now. It's been a couple years.
It had to be
At least 2 years.
We're going on.
It's 1970. It's 1971, and they met in 68. So it's been 3 years.
No, but I mean, quick in her
They had been
decision.
separated for 15 years.
Oh, well, I guess. I mean, yeah. Well, like she's like separate for a while.
71, so that would put it at 86.
Yeah. So maybe, and then he's like, because it's been 15 years after that. This is the last time he sees her, and so he puts his helmet on and his dog costume thing back on, and he's like, "Well, I'll try to make it after, because he's going to go to that dinner, that pop-up dinner with his boss, and try to move up." That's Lou, who becomes his best friend, and
tag team the assistant. Duh.
Yeah.
Bring the
Go
costume.
back for a second. What I was referring to that.
Real
There's
weirdo.
nothing really up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's nothing really leading up to her leaving, because like it seems okay. They're not going to. Okay.
Well, she mentions that it's she like right before that she preemptively says like you've been working a lot, and I know I know that this means a lot to you, and so like you can tell that he's been like he's sweating and like he's working crazy hours. His break was only like 60 seconds or 90 seconds, and then he had to go back. Yeah, it was a commercial break when all this stuff happened, and they had to make that decision. So, and then the ghost ends up telling, him after all of this, he's like, "You left Claire for the dog." And so that's why Claire was like, "I think we should separate. You're choosing your job or your career over me, So I think it was kind of not out of nowhere, but in a sense, like for us, they sped up 3 years of they went 3 Christmases in a row, basically, or whatever.
You know what I heard when I watched that?
Seems a little abrupt.
I was reading between the lines, bro. She said, "You ain't fucked me in how long I done got you the book and all this shit." And I just I said, wear the dog suit. She's a real freak. She was like, "You didn't want to wear that shit." 3 years and she had it. She got the cobwebs. She's like, "I'm gonna go have a 3-way with my friends."
Cobwebs at this dinner.
Cobwebs, man.
Yeah, this movie is not rated X or R. It's PG-13 now. But the ghost ends up leaving him in the studio audience, and he's like watching the screen, kind of freaking out, and it backs away, and it's like a different, it's him watching the production, one of the final dress rehearsals, I guess it is, of his show that's supposed to be going live later that evening, and that's where we are. He's returned back to the present time.
Present day.
And he interrupts it. I don't know if you want me to go any further, but he comes back. He comes back to the present, and it's just funny when he tells the actress, because she's talking, or she's doing her lines, and he's like staring at the screen, and he's all out of it, right? He's come back from the past, and what does he tell her? He calls her a crazy bitch or some shit.
Oh shit, I missed that one.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can quote it directly. I think I rewound it a little too much here on my phone. I'm kind of watching it on the side.
While you do that, real quick question: are we doing splits tonight?
Yeah, we were waiting to get to the end of the Ghost of Christmas Past, and then we're gonna bring it to Act 2.
Oh, so she says, may you be happy with the path you have chosen. Like she's talking to Ebenezer. And he has like, I am happy with the path that I've chosen, you bitch. I couldn't be happier. And then the actors are like, what are you, crazy? And they're like, cut. They stop production. Crazy like a fox. Crazy enough to see through your little tricks. And he thinks everything's like, you know, he thinks everything's still messed up. He's all jacked up in his head or whatever. And he starts going on a rant. So that's where we are here. The Ghost of Christmas Past really did a number on him.
Yep. Goes and starts talking to the little, I don't know, the little kid starts like shaking her or whatever. Just being an asshole. And that's where we're leaving it for act number 1. And we still have the Ghost of Christmas present and the Ghost
finale.
Christmas yet to come in act 2 and act 3.
Christmas future.
Yeah.
Yet to come. Pause.
And so if you don't follow the audio version of the podcast, go follow it. Silver Screen Breakdowns episodes are dropping on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of the 3 acts from our live show. And go follow on YouTube as well, Silver Screen Breakdowns. Go ahead, Nelson.
I guess I'm not saying Nelson Time. You find me on YouTube and not Twitch yet, but Instagram, Nelson Times _ acting. Paid in Full is one of the big movies that I was in. Bogey and Alex and Peacock. Peacock, have you seen it?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, it was so meta.
It was Robert Townsend and stuff.
It was meta. Like I was there and I went down when you guys were watching it. In the basement
that was so meta.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The movie with Nelly.
That was Bogey's idea, was it? Whose idea was it to put that out? Bogey? I think it was.
It was planned actually. We had this whole thing where like.
Oh, we did plan it too.
Originally, we wanted to like have a watch party like with you and like go live, and we're like, screw it, we're just gonna watch it and just like, you know what I mean. And it was kind of cool because I think like Stevie B never watched it before. You know what I mean? Which is like odd because he's from the East Coast, like he's from Staten Island. You know what I mean? And he's not too far. He's not that much younger than us. I would say like 6, 7 years maybe. But yeah, but
good times. Those good times. Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Right.
Yeah. So you see my acting demo reels. Actually, I'm gonna have some new footage because I'm in this feature film. I had a meeting last weekend with this other writer-director dude.
I happen to have seen that film.
Nice. A couple other things that get coming out that I've worked on recently. So we'll see what else I'll come up with. So tonight I gotta leave early. I gotta shut things down. I got all this other stuff I gotta finish up tonight.
I appreciate you though, man. Love having you on always.
Yeah, Nelly.
Showing up me tonight. The rest of the time.
And happy belated birthday, my good brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, this is basically your birthday episode.
I'm getting older just like the rest of us. Sagittarius, that's me.
Oh yeah.
Can't stop it.
Dexterous. That's my name.
You can't stop it.
Dexterous.
Look out, world.
My buddy Damien, he's a filmmaker, actor dude. I said, yeah, like I'm learning to sing and play piano so I can become more dexterous. Is that a word? No, but it sounds good.
Yeah. That's shit right there. You know what I mean?
Dexterity and skill.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna be pliable. You know what I mean?
And for the first time on the intro, the song right before we opened the intro of the show.
Yeah.
Not the first or second. I think there's three pieces of music, Bogey's music, or is it 2?
3.
There's a couple, yeah.
Well, the one right before we go on.
Mm-hmm.
I played around with some notes on that.
Oh,
okay. Nice.
Good,
the silver screen joint. Silver screen, watching pictures, shit.
Yep.
It's the one that's it's only played for 30 seconds right before we open. It's the last song.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, yeah, it sounds good.
I can
I'm playing whole different notes and stuff.
I can send you a direct link, and that'd be cool.
You can send me that track. I'll put.
Yeah, I'll send you the direct link of that track.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, Ellie.
Nelson Times, everybody.
Nelson Times.
There we go.
I'll talk to you before. All right, guys.
Peace out, Nelson.
And you guys already know who the fuck I am. I'm the elusive one, Bogard Scott Free. Tune in next time for Act 2 of the Silver Screen Breakdown. Scrooged. Ghost of Future Past. Give me money.
All right. Sorry, there's I'm in the garage. You can hear that vehicle out there. I'm the Neon Peacock.
Firing up the mothership.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm the Neon Peacock. You can find my stuff at neonpeacockmerch.com. Go check that out.
My bad. I totally forgot you didn't do your shit. I started to though. And tune in next
On the
time.
spotlight, Bogey. Keep Bogard on you.
I'm on mushrooms right now. Just forgive me.
All right, let's jump over.
Free.
We'll see you on the other side, and everyone watching live, just stick with us for Act 2. Here we go.
Silver screen, motion picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.